I have one question, and this has been an incredible interview. Okay, this has been incredible. It's been great to see you, Aaron. Great to see you, Aaron. Were you sandbagging everybody? You were showing videos of you singing Taylor Swift and jumping off waterfalls with Mai Tai, that son of a bitch. And then you showed up at the match and your legs were gigantic. Did you sandbag everybody? Because everybody's like, he's not going to be in shape. Looks like he's going to retire, blah, blah, blah. Did you stick on you look like you're in the best shape we've seen you in some time. And I think the match calves really was what drew me to that. Were you on the same workout that you've always been on and were attempting to mislead people all off season?
Yeah, I wasn't attempting to mislead anybody, but I was on a similar workout that I've been on. I probably upped the calves workout just a tad, just because I knew I was going in against Phil, and I just didn't want to give Phil any extra ammo. He's a below average trash talker, as was his partner, really as was my partner as well. So I knew I had to bring the calves and the trash talking, which I tried to, but it was one of those rounds where things kind of clicked for me. I've always been a good putter, and other than the chunk I had on the first hole, I actually hit the ball fairly decent. Comparatively, maybe a little better than some of the other guys in the group. But that was fun to play well in that and to close it out. They were rooting for us, I think, for me not to make that putt to kind of get us to 18, keep the viewership. But I'm like, shit, we're already 5 hours in. Do we really need another hour of this? I think we gotta streamline that a little bit next time.
Hey, were you really? You said you were 50-50 retiring. I said from watching the match, I was like, does that look like a dude that wants to retire? Like I felt like never even asking you. Like I can't imagine you just hanging it up right now.
Well, Age, after the match, what happened?
What do you get an attitude for? Why do you get an attitude about that question?
Hey, stop being a fucking asshole.
Come on, Hawk.
Come on.
Look, I respect that sometimes, every now and then, you keep a conversation that we have between us. Pat's not as good about that. Like when he drops me as his source. I appreciate that, AJ. Every now and then you keep things between us. It's great. But after the match, I flew to Tahoe and we hung out. Right? Remember that?
Yeah.
And we had some questions. And I told you what I said in my press conference. I don't know what's going to happen in the next few weeks, but I'm getting ready as if I'm going to play. Because I had to. I mean, you don't do it the other way. You don't show up to camp, fat as shit and, out of shape. You got to make sure you're ready to rock and roll. I mean, AJ, I don't think this time you ever did that because all you eat is like chicken and chicken. But and your wife is a great cook too. That's one of the biggest shames. I don't know, McAfee, I don't know about your wives, chef-wise, but Laura Hawk is a phenomenal cook. And for AJ to only eat eggs and chicken.
Disrespectful.
Yeah.
Scumbag.
Crazy.
Scumbag.
You should have seen what he said about Andrew Siciliano yesterday.
Oh, my God.
That poor guy. He's getting bullied by NFL Network, AJ. I potentially got COVID because of it. The universe is all upset about what we did to Siciliano, and I'm having a rough day over here.
Yeah, don't mess with guys like that, Pat.
Pat, you got one more? I know Aaron's got to get back. He's on his lunch break, so I appreciate you joining us. Pat, I think, has one more.
I want AJ to get the last question, though, just because he's the host.
Don't worry. I'll jam one in before we end it.
All right. Pat's gone. Okay.
All right. There we go. You know what? You wonder why he hung up? He was trying to be funny, but he really had nothing to ask, and he was racking his brain. He's like, oh, no. I got to ask like actual real question right here, and he couldn't figure it out. So credit to him.
Yeah, that or COVID.
Hey, how is your arm feeling for real? I know you never. Okay, so you usually never throw. Were you throwing when you were jumping off waterfalls in Hawaii and all that? Were you throwing the ball at all? I know you usually say you never throw in the off season.
Yeah, Miles is a big time athlete. We were running some routes out there. Definitely working the girls in here and there. With some underneath stuff, but a lot of throwing out there for sure.
Not as precise as Randall's underneath route, though. You know that. That jump across that he has, the girls can't touch that route. I know that. I get it.